Hello farmers and welcome back to American Falls. I had just brought over the manure from the pig pen and the cow farm on over to the BGA to be processed, of course into methane, electricity, and digestate, so we can earn just a little bit more per hour out of that. Frank Jr. has now taken over the plowing contract on field number 42, is it? Is it 42 or 49? 42, we can currently see what they got done. And if I go to the contract page, we should get paid a little over $28,000. 62% done with that. I was looking at some other contracts. I'm going to try to avoid any other contracts, but boy, I really want to get the other production up and going as soon as possible. And I was looking at the root crop harvesting contracts, which, you know, may not be a bad thing. I kind of hope in the next version of Farming Simulator, when we get the contract page and we get what we can see we are boring for items, it would be nice to see, like, if we were to click on, like, the harvester, we could see the specs of what they're giving us. Because sometimes it's hard to tell what you're actually getting. But anyways, while all that other stuff is going on, we got our sorghum field that is ready for harvest. Let's go ahead and fire up the combine here. So, no straw off of this field. All this sorghum, of course, is going down to the grain mill to make wonderful flour, which we will sell in January. Nothing to save here whatsoever. We don't have chickens anymore, and I do believe, though, I could feed it to the pigs, but we got tons of wheat still in the silo for the pigs, so they should be all set. And once we get done with this harvesting of this field, and Frank Jr. gets done with plowing field number 40, I just looked at it, 42, I think we're done with the month of August. We can move on to September. Although I don't think we'll have much of anything to do in September. We'll probably keep our eye out on the animals, maybe sell some more pigs. But the corn should not be ready until October. And I don't think I got any other fields to harvest. I could, though. Wait, what month can I plant? I don't think I can plant wheat until October. Is October? Yeah, I can't plant wheat until October. So September, I really got nothing going on, right? Sorghum, we're harvesting. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So September, we're just going to fly right on through, which is not a bad thing. But I'm kind of hoping that with everything going on and the money coming in, maybe we'll have enough to put down the production building. I think it's going to be a little bit of a long shot. I mean, the plowing contract's going to put us over 100,000. We need 150. I don't think the BGA with the slurry and the manure I brought over is going to bring in 50,000. I could be wrong. We'll just have to wait and see as we move on through the episode. Already 5,000 liters of sorghum. Now, once we get that production building down, as I've been saying, we can start maybe looking at swapping out some of our equipment, but kind of the main thing I want to do, and I think the community would like it as well, is pay off the rest of the loan. It's not a big loan, $240,000 I think is what we got left. But we got to start making the stuff first, right? That's the big step. And if any fertilizing contracts come up within the next month when planting starts happening again, we'll take on fertilizing contracts, but I really need to start stepping away from that, as I mentioned. Harvesting contracts, I was only looking at only because I really want to get that production building down. And where the greenhouses used to be, we'll make that look nice over there. We got to delete some trees, and once we get the trees deleted, we can put the production building down. And then over time, I'll put down some more trees around the production building to make it look a little bit nicer over there. We don't want it to look too industrial over there. Oh, we are filling up with sorghum rather fast, which is nice. Also got to keep our eye on our dairy production, making sure that that keeps up and running. October, we should be selling butter and cheese. So we got to make sure we keep bringing the milk on down, although I think we brought down a whole bunch of milk that will keep it running until October. I could be wrong. I was kind of used to, on hinterland, when we had all the dairy productions going on, I was using the Upgrade Factories mod, and I think the dairy was at like level 5 or something like that. So we were going through the milk, but we were also running a mod with Maize Plus, where the cows were producing a whole bunch more milk than what we're currently getting. Little by little, though. We'll slowly creep up to that 150 and put that production building down. And then I'll be extremely happy. Then we can start shopping around for more stuff for the farm. I know when I started this series, I was talking about having a John Deere harvester. But here we are, getting kind of close to 80 episodes, and we're still rocking the Case Combine. Nothing wrong with the Case. I also wanted to swap out the dual wheels on the Case Combine for tracks. Never got around to that, and I don't think we will. Am I going to get to the end of this row before I get full? Probably not. Not that it matters too much, because we are on the outside. I think 14.4, yeah, 14.4 is what we can fit into the combine. All right, let's get into the Fendt and the trailer and bring that on over. So, have you made a weight around the headland yet? We already got 14,000 liters. So the grain mill is going to be busy with a sorghum, making a whole bunch of flour. I also need to clear out the spawn area of flour down there because I think we are getting kind of full in storage. So I may use the bumper on the Fendt to push some of the flour out of the spawn area. While that's unloading, let me just go ahead and look. This should be the grain mill here. Actually, you know what? Instead of using the tractor, we'll just do this and get it kind of prepared in case I forget about it, because we all know I forget to do things. Let's just push these out of the way. Push these more out of the way. Not too far around the corner because I do got to drop off. Okay, so we got some silos sticking out, so I could push it over a little bit further, but this should be good enough for now. Perfect. All right, and then Frank Jr., yeah, he's going to slowly get along in that field. I don't think he'll be done by the time I get this harvest done here. I may actually go help him out. Course play is pretty good, but it's going to set up for the easiest course I can manage. And probably, you know, once it gets the headlands done and all that it can get done while I'm harvesting this, by the time I get over there, I could probably get the job done quicker after that. Yeah, it shouldn't take me too long to harvest this field with a 45-foot header. It is a nice sized field. As I mentioned, I kind of want to buy the field on the other side of those trees and merge it with this one. I'm just not quite sure with all the trees that are there if that's something I really want to do. I mean, that'd be a ways. That'd be like one of the few, you know, one of the last things we do, along with putting down some solar panels. I'm starting to feel like I won't buy that land over there just because we do have a lot of farmland already, and keeping up with everything that we have, it's a bit of a handful. And we seem to have enough farmland where we can keep up with feed for the animals and produce enough also to keep our production buildings up and going. So as long as we can keep doing that, then probably no need to expand. We can leave that up to the next farm owners, whoever that is, once we leave American Falls, and they can decide if they want to expand. I mean, we've pretty much done our job mostly already by getting the community farm back on its feet. I think we've done that. But it's not 100% financially stable. So we want to make sure that we can manage that before we leave. Well, let's go ahead and get the rest of this field harvested. And then we'll see how Frank Jr. is getting along down in field number 42. 2 more passes and we should be done with the sorghum harvest. As you saw, I brought 1 trailer load down already and got the production up and running. Meanwhile, Frank Jr. is nearing, well, I don't want to say nearing. I think he's somewhere around 80-85% done with that field. But he decided to fix the Landini and plow. So that took out about $4,500 to go ahead and fix that, which is fine. I mean, I got to repair the vehicles at some point anyways. But when you're trying to reach a certain goal of money and the money just keeps disappearing when you don't want it to, it's kind of disappointing a little bit. But yeah, we will still get there, like I always say. The BGA brought in a little bit of cash. It does seem like silage is the way to go at the BGA. The manure and slurry doesn't seem to make as much as the silage does from the BGA. But I really have no other use for the slurry or the manure currently. So, yep, to the BGA it goes. All right, and 1 more pass here, and the sorghum field is done. For some reason, I thought making flour with sorghum, I thought I got less flour from the sorghum than I put in. So if I put 100,000 liters in, I thought I would get like 90,000 liters of flour out of it. But it seems like I actually get more flour than what I put in for sorghum. So that's a bonus. Well, we'll have a look at the ratio again in just a second, just to be sure I'm not talking out of my butt when I say that, because sometimes I misread things. Well, sorry, I'm not trying to fold. I'm trying to lift up the header. There we go. So while this is unloading, we'll have another quick look at the grain mill. I think it said for every 150 liters I put in, I get 158 liters of flour out on sorghum. Let me just double check on that. Sorghum, 150, 158. So yeah, I thought there was one. Oats is 150, 188. Barley. All right, so it's barley and wheat that get less. Yeah, okay. I mean, oats is a good way to go at it by looking at numbers, but it's kind of hard to tell because sorghum yields better than oats. So you just can't look at those numbers and say, well, she does be planting oats because you get more flour off the field. That's like a whole test you got to do of how many liters of a crop you get off a field with all the variables kind of being the same as best you can. And I don't feel like doing that. So, yeah, we're just going to plant what we want. I mean, oats sound like the best thing to do because not only, as you saw, the ratio looks pretty good for getting flour, you're also going to get straw off the field as well. So if you're looking for a crop to make money on and you got the grain mill, possibly oats is the way to go. And at least in FS19, oats gave the most amount of straw out of the crops that gave us straw. So that's something else to take into consideration. All right, let's bring this on down. We'll dump this into the grain mill. And I should jump up time because, as I said, I don't got nothing else to do this month other than waiting for the plowing contract to finish up, which we're going to jump in the Landini ourselves and finish that off and collect on the $28,000, which will now just barely put us over $100,000. Yeah, we're creeping ever closer where it's going to be almost right on the dot 100,000. But at least we're going to be jumping into a tractor that's been repaired. I don't think they fully repair it in the settings. I think I got course play to repair up to like 90% or something like that. Yeah, he keeps repairing the vehicle. As you can see, there goes another $572 out the window. But it wouldn't be any different. I don't know if it's cheaper if I repair it or if the course play worker repairs it. I don't know if that's a thing or not. I have no idea. So remember the first time I came to the grain mill, we were doing a contract, and I thought, okay, we'll bring it to the grain mill, but since I didn't own it, I couldn't drop off the grain here, which was kind of weird. I think that may have been fixed, though, where you can actually bring grain here without owning the grain mill. We're going to put the 1,000 right there. Let's go ahead and jump over to... Oh yeah, so we don't have that much further to go. Alright, we'll put the plow down ourselves. And start going back and forth. As much fun as that is. Plowing contracts is something I would not be doing if I had to use in-game equipment. Of course, there are bigger, you know, modded plows out there than this. We all have our favorites. Or what we like to use. But this setup right here, I mean, other than the Voltra and the fertilizer spreader, which is the first setup that we had, this was the second setup that we went for. And the amount of contracts that we've done with the Landini and the plow is quite a bit. When I started this series, I didn't think I was going to be doing that many contracts. I figured for a year or two, and that'd be it. And here we are in year number 8. And I'm still doing them. But then you look at other series like Hills of Tuscany, Oceanside Forest, which had no contracts whatsoever. So it kind of evens out a little bit. Oh yeah, and ever since I mentioned about this series, when I plan on ending it, people are starting to appreciate the suggestions of what map to go to. Like I said, I'm not really going to be looking for a map currently. I am reading the comments about what maps you guys are suggesting. But, you know, within a month or a month and a half from now, whatever it might be, who knows what maps will be coming out. So, I'm not even looking at maps until I know when the series is going to end, which, like I said, we got another year and a half here at least before we move on. So, a ways to go. And I am kind of interested to see, I know of about 2 maps for sure that are being currently worked on. And I can't wait to see the way they look. So I'm interested in those. And I think there's a third one someone told me that they're starting to work on as well. But they may be holding off on that map in case there's an announcement for FS25, which... you know, is if FS25 comes out in the fall, like they mostly, you know, when they release a new version, we're talking 6 months from now. But to make a really good modded map, as we know, it can take up to 3 months of work, and then touch-ups need to be added on afterwards. I know when 19 was ending and 22 was coming out, there were a couple of modders that made a map and did not release it until FS22 came out, and then there was a lot of tweaking, I guess, from Giant's editor from 19 to 22, so a lot of shaders and all that had to have been redone. But it's always fun getting you know, for me, starting a new farm and getting it going. I kind of regret a little bit on Hills of Tuscany the way I kind of started that by just buying everything up front. But I wanted to get all the productions going, and the only way to get all the production going on that map was to buy everything up front. But to me right now, I feel like I'm a little bit of a lull on that series, only because I think the only thing I'm working towards, my only goal now, is to pay off the loan, because we got pretty much everything that we want. Unlike here, where we restricted ourselves on getting a loan at first, but I had the same problem here to where we seem kind of stagnant, so we borrowed $300,000, and I think that's how we ended up buying this tractor and plow, possibly. But that got the series back up and going, in my opinion. But at least all the way through American Falls, you know, we're still working towards, like, yeah, I need to build up money. We're working towards, I feel like I have a goal to get to. even though the goal always keeps on changing. And that's the way it usually is when you do Farming Simulator, at least in my opinion. When you start in a farm, it's like, okay, what's my first set of goals here in the farm? What do I need to work towards? And then once you get to that point, it's like, okay, we got that. Now, what do I need to focus on next? I mean, you've heard some of the plans that we were going to do here. I was going to buy a lot of the fields up in the northern part, the bigger fields, and gotten away from that. I was going to buy the field number 2, which is right across from the BGA, make that into a grass field, and do a whole bunch of silage at the BGA. I don't feel like doing that because that's just a lot of more off-camera work. I mean, the grass field we got now is decent size, and that takes me a while to get that all taken care of. Alright, I'm going to skip this last little piece right here, and I'll get down to the other section. Because as we know, you don't need to get the whole field done. I think as we found out in FS, going back now to FS17, I think it's 95% of the field you need to get done. So the bigger the field, the bigger the chunk it looks like that you're leaving behind. But the smaller the field, that 95% looks like it's the entire field. You know, honestly, if I owned this field and I had to plow it all the time, I would definitely get ourselves like the John Deere plow that we use in Hinterland. I know there is a bigger version mod of this right here. But since we really don't need to plow our fields that we do, getting a bigger plow and setup is not really necessary. This is just a convenience of, well, the Landini's sitting at the farm, the plow is sitting at the farm, I'm not using it. There's a decent paying contract. Let's go ahead and grab it and get the work done and get paid nicely for it. Contract in field 42 complete. Yeah, that looks like a huge chunk left over. But if the farmer's happy, I'm happy. Let's collect on that, shall we? Before something weird happens. Well, that took a second. I'm like, are you going to collect or not? Yeah, so every other contract. So I'm just going to kind of focus on fertilizing contracts, and I'm only looking at the 5-digit contracts, meaning 10,000 or more. So we are just barely over $100,000. But that means we're 2/3 of the way there. We need 150. And we can put down that production building and start making that material. I'm going to drive back the Landini, then I'm going to drive back the Fent. I'll meet you back at the farm. And I think we can go ahead and sleep through the rest of the month. We don't need to be doing anything else. And we'll wake up in the early morning of September, see what's going on, see how much money the BGA made through the rest of this month and through the morning hours. I don't think we'll be up to 150, maybe 120 I'm hoping for. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to just move on forward. Probably a good idea before I just zip on through another 20 hours of the month is check on the pigs and see exactly how they stand on the food. Because we want their health to stay 100%, because I may need to sell a few pigs in the morning to get exactly where we need to be. So let's check on the oinkers. So they got 22,000 liters of food. They need 21.5. I think we'll give them some grain, just to make sure. Don't need a whole lot. Yeah, that should be good. To turn off the beacon since we're back at the farmyard. It's only us. Just need to open up one side and I can squeeze through. Watch out, piggies. The way that sounded like I ran over one, which I kind of did. All right, there they go with the wheat. Yeah, it would be easier just to go ahead and make pig food and then bring it on in there. I just, oh, no. I just have to bring in one trailer of pig food and it'll fill up all 4 categories. The feed trough will still hold the same amount, but it's not like bringing a little bit of wheat, bringing a little bit of corn. Try to get the ratio right. Alright, so what I want to do before I just go ahead and speed through the rest of the month, let me speed up time, and when we hit the top of the hour, I want to see how much money we make from the BGA. Okay, not a whole lot. It was like $1,500 at best, right? Something like that. So I don't think we're going to get $49,000 worth through the rest of the month. But let's see here. I'm just thinking in my head. I think we're all set. We're going to sleep until 6 a.m. Like I said, September, as far as working on farmland, I really don't have nothing to do. I can't plant wheat until October. And I think all the other crop we're going to be planting in the springtime, like oats and maybe more sorghum. So we're up to 121,395. Let's come over here to the pigs. Did we get lucky on the pigs here? Well, their health is at 100%. We got 200 pigs. Where are we here? So we're looking at pigs worth 700 because that's where it seemed like we needed to be. And, oh, we got a couple of them that are there. How many we got here? 34. 34. That's $23,000 worth. So we're a little bit shy still, I do believe. Do we have any more? No, we don't. No, we don't. Oh, we need... we need $6,000. Let me go ahead. We're going to fast forward until daylight hours. Oh, actually, before I do, I should be looking at contracts, right? Harvesting, fertilizing. Well, there's one for $16,000. I will take that. But let's go ahead and fast forward until, well, when I say the sun comes up, at least where it's bright enough. It's raining, so. Oh, and the wool have created sheep. The sheep have created some wool. So there we go. All right, so now I need like 5,000. All right, what are we at? 642, 642, 642. How many do we have here? All right, well, we'll sell them little at a time here. Where was the other 642s? All right, well, we'll sell them as well. 642. Well, just one of them. That's not helping us out here. 642. Just one of those as well. Well, the one thing about selling the onesies off, when we have offspring next month, we'll have a bigger cluster instead of all these offsets. All right, what are we at here? 150 and 70 bucks. Okay, let's go over to here. I'm still guessing I'm not gonna have enough because there's gonna be some landscaping that we got to do. Let's go ahead. Let me turn off my flashlight. We don't need that. What I need to turn on is delete objects. I could cut the trees down and bring them over, yada yada yada, but we're just gonna go ahead and delete them. So in a way, I'm losing money by doing this, but that's fine. I can't remember if I got the free landscaping tool on. I can't remember if I get it. I may have to get rid of this. I don't know, but we're going to. Okay, we'll step over here. Construction, production. No, factories. Scroll on down here. Let's see. I think I said I wanted it this way. All right, yeah, I gotta see, because I want to put that down, then try to paint over it. Construction. landscaping, painting. All right, yeah, so this is not costing me anything. So let's just go ahead and paint this all in. Just to be sure. All right, production factories. Not enough money. It was a second ago. All right. The money didn't change. And I had enough money before. All right. Let's just go back over to the pigs. We'll just sell a few more. All right. Any more 642s was the highest price we were looking for. All right. 613. Female. They're all females. All right. That's okay. That's one. 111. It seems like that's over. 14. All right. You guys are, or gals are gone. All right. Let's get back over to this production building. Construction. Well, you know, I do have enough money now. It was very close before. And there we go. Now we got it down. Perfect. So now we can go into our production buildings. Oats, we are done with there. Let's deactivate that. And then, all right, let's go ahead and put this on, I guess. Activate. I'm just going to activate all of it. And let's see, storing. Crude oil, get on that. 70,000 liters of that. And we want that distributing. And now let's just go to the top of the hour. Yep, we'll get to the wool here in just a second. But now if I go back into here, the oil is gone. And the oil, ooh, wow, we almost reached capacity. But now already we're making that material. And if I go to the stock market page, that stuff should start showing up. And we can start seeing some timelines of when to be sold. And it doesn't matter where it goes, because the only place it goes is to the sell point that we put down by our pen, which is right over here. And the sell point should be right here. We got a nice little passageway going around back out to the main road, so I can just drive through with the trailer, turn around, and head right on out. But we got it down in the early month of September. My goal was by October, and thanks to the pigs, we're able to do so. And now that production building should help us out quite a bit, I hope. Now let's see here. We're just going to go ahead and just move this over here for now. And I don't think I've ever had the spawn point of wool fill up, which is good. But as we know, that won't get sold until the springtime. How your guys' health is at 100%. How is the food looking? I should probably come over here and top you off with some food as well. And the milk? How is the milk? Yeah, we don't have a whole lot. The goats are slowly producing milk. But it's getting up there. But all is looking good. Let's just jump back over to our lovely production building. Yeah, I'll have to put some trees down and such. I don't know where the spawn point is for this stuff. I'll have to figure it out. This is maybe where I get the diesel. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out here. But hopefully I can get my... Well, I say my truck. I don't have a truck yet. And we will have to do some landscaping, try to make it easier in and out through here. And then also comes out the back over here. And maybe we can just circle back around either way. I think I own a little bit of this land right here. And then we'll put some trees down. But now the oil production, crude oil, don't really have to do nothing here. Don't have to bring nothing here. It's all run by wind, which makes the crude oil, which now comes over to here, which helps us make paraffin, bearings, diesel fuel. What is it? Paraffin, kerosene, motor oil, bearing grease, and diesel. And we can see the numbers going up slowly but surely. So maybe in October we might be able to sell some of that stuff. But hooray, now the farm is really going to start taking off. I do hope. I do hope. But anyway, before we go though, let me just double check because I did advance time. So we got one fertilizing contract, and that is it, field number 39. So I'll get that done in between episodes, and then, like I said, I don't really have anything else to do other than take care of the animals this month. We'll get to October, and then we'll got some corn harvesting to do. I think the grass will be ready, and of course, selling other products. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always, and I'll catch you again right here in American Falls. But until then, have a good one.